Now, let's shift our focus into three reflections. We know that when there is a double reflection, it's equivalent to a translation. Now, when can we say, or what would be our implication if you have three different reflections? Let's say we have three different lines here, parallel lines, that 1, 2, and 3, assuming that they are all parallel. So let's say these are three parallel lines. Okay, let's say it's line L, line M, and line N. And we have here a certain point, X. The three reflections of X along these three lines would be, the first one would be somewhere here. That's the first reflection. Let's call it X sub 1. The second reflection, using that first reflection, is somewhere here. Let's call it X sub 2. And for our third one is somewhere here. Let's call it X sub 3. X sub 3 is the third reflection of X along the lines L, M, and N. In short, we can actually determine it in this form. We have the three reflections, so we will be starting, or the last one is N. You have your M and L. So our X here along L and then M and N would be equivalent to our X sub 3 as indicated in our graph. Now, to determine the third reflection of a certain point along three different lines, we know that it's actually the combination of three different reflections, but we can of course partition it, okay, in this manner. Let's partition it in this manner. We'll take its reflection first. Say for example, if the reflection X sub 1, as mentioned, as the first reflection of our X, and take note, if we're going to pair it with these notations, okay, this means double reflection. So what will be our implication here if you're asked to determine the third reflection of a certain point? It's actually a combination of a reflection and a translation. Okay? Or again, as mentioned, three reflections. But in the purpose of solutions, we can simply start with the first reflection and then later on translate the first reflection into the along M, and of course with the use of N. And in the uses of translation, we're going to use the formula. Okay, so say for example, since we have now X sub 1, it will be X sub 1 now plus P, sorry, that's actually twice P minus Q. This is a formula in solving for a translation. Okay, now it's no longer X because we'll be using its first reflection as a point of origin as we take its translation. In short, we're going to translate the first reflection, okay, where P is again the foot of perpendicular in this time on the second line M, okay, because we'll be starting with this here as to translate that reaching X sub 3. So our line L, the first line, will just be on the reflection alone. And then for the translation, we will have the foot of perpendicular on M. Okay? On N. My bad. It is on N. Okay? The foot that you can see here using, okay, Q on your M. So after we take the first reflection, we choose here any Q, and of course we have the corresponding P for that, and we're going to take that here together with your first reflection to solve for the three reflections. We'll have three different examples for this in the next few videos, so please stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching.